Hello and hi, welcome to Yedidia Shofet.net, and welcome to this week's Parshat, Parshat Vaetchanan. So, at the beginning of this week's Parsha, Moshe Rabbeinu, he wants to go to Eretz Yisrael, and he was telling everyone in the nation how it just couldn't happen. And he said the words, Eber ana va'eret ha'aretz hatovah. Let me go over the yard, let me go over the Jordan. Let me please see the great land, the Hahar Tov, the great mountain, the good mountain. Moshe Rabbeinu keeps saying good mountain. He keeps saying the words Tov, 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 Tov. He's implying something to everyone. What, he couldn't ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu, let me see the land, let me see the land? Why does he keep saying Tov? He's trying to tell us all a beautiful lesson. There's a story of a Amora. What is an Amora? Amora is a rabbi at the times of the Gemara. The rabbis who are at the times of the Mishnah, which was before the Gemara, are called Tanaim. So nevertheless, he was a rabbi from the time period of the Gemara. And this rabbi, Rav Zera, he was walking one day, and he just had a very big longing. He wanted to really go to the land of Israel in order to learn Torah, in order to be there. However, his rabbi, he told him, listen, you cannot go. It's not a time right now for you to go. It's not the time for us to go. We are in exile. We have to take care of the people here. However, Rav Zera didn't feel like it. He kept feeling that his place of belonging was in Eretz Yisrael, especially because he knew that his teacher, that he always used to write with, Rabbi Yochanan, was in Eretz Yisrael, and he wanted to go from Babylon all the way to Eretz Yisrael. So what did he do? He prayed and prayed and prayed, and even though he felt he was unworthy, he still said, I need to go. So in the middle of the night, he got up, made sure that his teacher did not see him, and he goes throughout the entire night. In the morning, he gets to stop. He sees there's a river, and he wants to cross this river, but there's absolutely no bridge. There's no boats, nothing. But he sees in the corner, there's a long log across the river, and on top of the log, there's like a rope where you can balance yourself as you're walking across. Even though this river is a turbid river, I mean, there's tons of waves and everything going through, he couldn't wait for anything. He went to the log, he started walking across that log. He was holding on for dear life to the rope. He was getting soaked across the river. And all this time, there was a non-Jew looking at this rabbi. And once the rabbi, he sat down at the end of the riverbank, after the entire journey of across the tight-roped river, the Gentile tells the rabbi, fool you are. Why couldn't you wait like a normal person? You are always hasty. Just like when you Jews, when you were by Har Sinai, when you were by Mount Sinai, and you said, Na'aseh v'nishma. You said, we will do and we will listen. You couldn't listen first? You have to just quickly run and jump into it? Just like while you over here. You're just jumping across the river. You're getting yourself soaked. You could have died. You couldn't wait for a ferry to take you across. So Rav Zera looks at him and he tells him, listen, my ancestors, they had greatest leaders this world has ever seen. Moshe Rabbeinu, Aharon HaKohen. These leaders did not have the privilege. They didn't have the chance to go into the land of Israel. And they wanted to. They yearned to go so badly. And I should wait in order for a ferry to come? And I should wait for such a great moment to come into such a land? Every moment that I come closer is precious. Every moment that I have an ability to go, it's a precious moment in my life. And unbelievably, he's agreeing with what the pasuk over here says. What does the pasuk say? It says, Eber ana, please, let me go over v'areh et aretz hatovah. And I want to see the good land, the land of Eretz Yisrael. And because Rav Zera spoke like that, because the rabbi said with such passion he wanted to go, he was granted the ability to go to Eretz Yisrael. And this teaches us the type of respect, the type of vision that people had of Eretz Yisrael. Baruch Hashem, nowadays, you look at Eretz Yisrael, you look at the land of Israel, you should only see good. Because, okay, I am not here to tell you whether the government is 100% correct, whether some flaws. Every government has flaws. But that's not for me to say anything about. Whether you are Haredi, whether you're Chiloni, for now that we're going through all this strife and everything, you look at the unbelievable chance that we have to learn Torah in Eretz Yisrael. to stay by the kotel in order to say tefillah. You have a lot of opposition right now. Of course, I'm not asking or I'm not telling you politically about what is right in terms of boundaries, what is right in terms of who says what, but appreciate what we have right now. You appreciate that we have a chance in order to learn in the Batei Midrash, in the houses of study in Bnei Brak. You have the houses of study in Tel Aviv, houses of study in Yerushalayim. You're able to do commerce in Israel. If you were to get lost in anywhere in the Middle East, where would you rather get lost in? One of the 15, 20 countries around Israel, or in Israel itself? You have a beautiful, happy land. There is a bracha in there. There's a bracha regardless of what your saying is. And you have to realize that Moshe Rabbeinu, he kept calling it good to reiterate the fact that no matter what happens in that land, it's always a good thing. It's always a good moment. Because ultimately, this is our land of ancestry. And I want to wish everyone a beautiful Shabbat. And God willing, every time that you want to go out of town, you should always think, one day let's go to Israel again. Let's go to Israel again. We have an ability to take an El Al flight, or a British Airways, or whatever you want. You don't have to go like Rab Zera and go on a log with a string in order to go to Eretz Yisrael. Rather, you get 3 meals, you get to sleep a little bit, and you wake up, you're in Eretz Yisrael. I want to wish everyone a beautiful Shabbat once again. And of course, please, if you can, share this video with all your friends at the table or through the web. Thank you. Amen.